The doctor who chose mercy. The space outpost was old, quiet, and forgotten. It floated at the edge of known space, far from rich planets and busy trade routes. Most ships only stopped here when they had no other choice. The walls were metal and cold. The lights flickered more often than they stayed bright. Dr. Elias worked here alone. He was not famous. He was not important. He was just a doctor who did his job. Every day, he treated miners with broken bones, pilots with burns, and soldiers who carried pain they never spoke about. He never asked where they came from or what they had done. If someone was hurt, he helped. That was his rule. That night started like any other. The station was silent. No ships on the radar. No messages from command. Dr. Elias cleaned his tools and prepared a rest. He removed his gloves and sighed. Another long day was over. Then the power lights flickered. Elias looked up. The station alarms should have sounded. They did not. A strange noise echoed through the hallway. It was soft, almost like a cry. Elias frowned. No ship had docked. No one had checked in. He reached for his scanner and stepped toward the clinic door. Another sound followed, weak, shaking, full of pain. Elias slowly opened the door. Something small lay on the floor. At first, he did not understand what he was seeing. Then his breath stopped. It was a dragon hatchling. Its body was no bigger than a human child. Dark scales covered its skin, cracked and burned in places. One wing was twisted at a terrible angle. A thin blue glow leaked from the wound like blood mixed with light. Dragons were legends of war. Across the galaxy, dragons were known as destroyers. Entire fleets feared them. Whole planets had fallen to dragon fire. And now, one was bleeding on his clinic floor. Elias stepped back. His mind screamed one word: danger. Protocol was clear. He should press the emergency alert. Military ships would arrive in minutes. The dragon would be killed. The station would be safe. The hatchling moved. Its breathing was shallow. Its claws scratched weakly against the floor. Then it looked at him. Its eyes were large, bright, and full of fear. Its mouth opened, and a small, broken sound came out. Pain. Elias froze. The word was not perfect, but it was clear. Pain. The doctor's hand hovered over the alert button. His heart pounded hard in his chest. One wrong choice could end his life. Dragons did not ask humans for help. Yet here it was. Bleeding. Alone. Afraid. Elias swallowed. He closed the door behind him. The alert button stayed untouched. Easy, he said softly, though his voice shook. I won't hurt you. The hatchling flinched when he stepped closer. Its wing dragged uselessly across the floor. Elias knelt slowly, keeping his hands visible. He scanned the wound. The damage was severe. Bone was broken. Muscle was torn. Without treatment, the hatchling would die. No human medical book taught how to heal a dragon. But pain was pain. Bones were bones. Elias brought out his tools. The moment metal touched the wound, the hatchling cried out. A small flame burst from its mouth and vanished into the air. Elias did not move back. He worked carefully, gently, speaking in a calm voice the whole time. He cleaned the wound. He set the broken bone. He sealed torn flesh with medical gel designed for extreme species. Minutes felt like hours. Sweat rolled down his face. Outside the station, far beyond the windows, something enormous moved through the darkness of space. Sensors began to shake. Unknown mass detected. Unknown energy readings rising. Dr. Elias did not notice. All he saw was the small life in front of him. Finally, the bleeding stopped. The hatchling's breathing slowed. Its eyes closed. Elias leaned back, exhausted. It's done, he whispered. At that moment, the station lights dimmed. The floor vibrated. Something powerful had arrived. Elias turned toward the window. In the dark space beyond the station, two massive, glowing eyes opened. The dragon mother had found her child, and she was watching the human who chose mercy. The mother watching from the shadows. The space station did not know it yet, but it was no longer alone. Far beyond the metal walls, in the cold silence of space, something ancient had arrived. No engines, no lights, no sound, just a massive shape drifting like a living shadow. The dragon mother had come. She did not roar. She did not burn. She only watched. Her body was larger than any human ship. Scars covered her scales. marks of old wars and lost battles. Her eyes burned with quiet fury, but also fear. Fear no enemy had ever seen. Her child was inside. On the station, Dr. Elias stood frozen near the window. The glowing eyes outside were impossible to miss. They filled the dark like twin stars. His hands trembled. He understood one truth instantly. If she attacks, everyone dies. The station alarms finally woke up. Red lights flashed. Warning sirens screamed through empty halls. Unknown entity detected. Extreme threat level. Evacuate immediately. But there was nowhere to run. Elias turned back toward the medical bed. The hatchling slept, its chest rising slowly. The broken wing was wrapped and stable. Alive. Please, Elias whispered, not sure who he was speaking to. I help you, child. Outside, the dragon mother moved closer. Her presence bent gravity. Sensors failed. Communication systems died one by one. Military channels went silent before they could send a warning. She scanned the station. Every room. Every corridor. Then she saw the clinic. She saw her child. And she saw the human standing beside it. Memories flooded her mind. Dragons remembered humans as killers. Hunters. Thieves of ancient power. Countless dragon young had died, screaming in metal cages or battlefields. She prepared to strike. Inside the clinic, the hatchling stirred. It opened its eyes. The moment it felt its mother's presence, it lifted its head weakly and made a soft sound. Not a roar, not a cry, a call. The dragon mother froze. She looked closer. Her child was not in chains, not bleeding, not afraid. The human had treated it like a patient, not prey. Dr. Elias stepped forward slowly. His knees felt weak, but he did not look away from the window. I won't hurt it, he said, voice shaking. I swear. The dragon mother did not understand his words, but she understood his actions. Time stretched painfully. One wrong move could end everything. Then, something impossible happened. The massive dragon lowered her head, just slightly. It was not a bow, but it was not an attack either. Elias felt his lungs fill with air again. The station stopped shaking. Weapons that were about to fire never did. The dragon mother extended one massive claw toward the station airlock. With careful control, she placed something inside. A deep metallic sound echoed through the halls. Then she pulled back. Without a sound, she vanished into the dark. The silence that followed was terrifying. Minutes passed. Nothing happened. Elias ran to the airlock. Inside lay a massive container, covered in symbols older than the Galactic Alliance itself. It hummed with power. Before he could open it, security teams finally arrived. They stared at the container in shock. Scans went wild. Energy readings off the scale. Technology beyond human design. Someone whispered, This is a relic hoard. Another whispered, dragons don't give gifts. Elias said nothing. He walked back to the clinic. The hatchling was awake now. It looked at him and slowly lifted its injured wing. Not in pain, but in trust. Elias gently touched its head. Outside, far away, the dragon mother watched once more. She had spared the station, but now the galaxy knew a human had healed a dragon, and that truth was far more dangerous than any fire. The gift that shook the galaxy. The station command did not trust silence. Silence meant danger. Minutes after the dragon mother vanished, 3 patrol ships arrived. Their weapons were active. Their crews were tense. No one spoke above a whisper. They expected fire. They found a gift. The massive container rested in the airlock like a sleeping beast. Strange symbols covered its surface. They glowed faintly, as if alive. Scanners failed to read its full contents. That is dragon tech, one officer said. No, older than that. Another officer swallowed hard. This kind of power starts wars. Dr. Elias stood behind them, silent. His eyes were not on the container. They were on the hatchling inside the clinic. The small dragon watched everything. It sensed fear. Humans always fear dragons. Elias knelt beside it. You're safe, he said quietly. The hatchling tilted its head. It did not understand the words, but it understood the tone. Outside the clinic, command officers argued. They wanted the container opened. They wanted the dragon studied. They wanted answers. Elias stepped into the hall. "No experiments," he said firmly. "It's a child." The room went quiet. One commander laughed nervously. "Doctor, that child could burn cities. Or, it could grow up remembering kindness," Elias replied. No one answered. Finally, Command ordered the container to be moved to a secure vault. That was their first mistake. The moment machines touched the relic, the station lights went out. Gravity shifted. Walls groaned like they were alive. A deep sound echoed through the metal halls. Not a roar, but a warning. Every screen lit up at once. Ancient symbols burned across them. A translation appeared, forced into human language. "The gift is not yours." Fear spread faster than fire. The container opened on its own. Inside was not gold. It was history. Weapons made of star metal. Crystals holding lost knowledge. Maps of space that no longer existed. Relics from before the galaxy had names. Everyone understood the truth at the same time. The Dragon Mother had not paid a debt. She had made a statement. Dr. Elias felt cold. This was too big. Far away, in the dark of space, the Dragon Mother watched again. She saw the humans touch what was not meant for them. Her patience was not endless. Inside the clinic, the hatchling suddenly cried out. Pain returned to its voice. Elias rushed to its side. The relics were reacting. The hatchling's scales glowed brighter. Symbols appeared across its wing bandages. The relics were bonded to dragon blood. Alarm screamed. Containment failure. Energy spike detected. Then everything stopped. The hatchling looked at Elias. Slowly, it placed its small claw over his hand. The energy calmed. The lights returned. The relics went silent. Every officer stared. The relics obeyed the dragon. But the dragon trusted the human. One officer whispered, "If the galaxy finds out," Elias finished a thought in his head. "They will come. Hunters. Empires. Kings." That night, a secret message spread through black channels. A human doctor healed a dragon. The dragons have chosen a side. Far beyond human space, ancient beings awakened. Some were curious. Some were afraid. And some decided one thing clearly. Dr. Elias could not be allowed to live. When kindness became a death sentence. The galaxy did not sleep that night. Secrets never stay hidden for long. Even though the station was sealed, even though all records were locked, whispers escaped. In shadow networks and illegal channels, one story spread like fire. A human healed a dragon. A dragon gave him ancient power. And power always attracts monsters. Dr. Elias felt it before anyone told him. The station felt different. Too quiet. Too controlled. Security guards appeared outside the clinic. Not to protect him, but to watch him. The hatchling stayed close to Elias. It sensed danger. Its small body pressed against his leg whenever strangers entered the room. Command called an emergency meeting. They did not invite Elias. He stood outside the door and heard raised voices. This relic can control star systems. If dragons trust him, we can use him. He's a liability. The word hit hardest. Liability. Elias realized the truth. He was no longer a doctor. He was a problem. That night, the lights in the clinic shut down suddenly. Backup power failed. Elias reached for his emergency lamp. Too late. The door sealed shut. Gas filled the room, clear, silent, deadly. Elias dropped to his knees, coughing. The hatchling screamed. Something inside it awakened. Its scales flared bright blue. The gas burned away in a flash of heat. The door exploded outward. Alarm screamed again, but this time, not for the dragon. Security teams rushed in. Too late. Whoever ordered the kill had already erased their tracks. Elias stood shaking, alive only because a dragon child protected him. That was when he understood. They would keep trying. Across the galaxy, powerful groups made decisions. Some wanted Elias captured. Some wanted him studied. Some wanted him erased. And some wanted to send a message to the dragons. The Dragon Mother felt it. She felt fear ripple through ancient dragon paths. She felt anger rising like a storm. But she did not rush in. Not yet. Inside the station, Elias packed what little he had. He could not stay. The hatchling watched him, eyes glowing softly. "I don't know where we'll go," Elias said quietly. But we can't stay here. As if it understood, the hatchling nodded. Far away, war fleets began to move. And for the first time in history, the galaxy prepared not to fight dragons, but the consequences of hurting a kind human. The night they tried to erase him, Dr. Elias did not sleep. He sat inside the dark clinic, bag packed, lights off. Every sound felt louder than it should. The station was pretending to be calm, but fear leaked through every wall. The hatchling stayed close to him. Too close. Animals knew danger before alarms did. Elias checked the corridor cameras. Empty. Too empty. Security guards had been moved away from the clinic hours ago. That was not normal. He whispered, "Something is wrong." The hatchling lifted its head. Its eyes glowed faintly. Then the station shook. Not from outside. From inside. Explosions ripped through the lower levels. Emergency lights flashed red. Sirens screamed, then died suddenly, cut off. Someone wanted chaos. Armed figures appeared on the screens. Not station security. No official markings. Their armor was black, their movements fast and trained. Professional killers. Elias felt cold. "They came for me," he said softly. The killers moved straight toward the clinic. No hesitation. No searching. They knew exactly where he was. Elias grabbed the hatchling and ran. The emergency corridors were narrow. Smoke filled the air. Doors sealed and unsealed without warning. Someone was controlling the station from the inside. A voice echoed through the speakers. "Dr. Elias," it said calmly. "Do not resist. This will be quick." Elias did not answer. He reached the hangar. Too late. The killers were already there. Weapons raised. One of them spoke. "You healed a dragon. That makes you dangerous." Elias stepped forward, placing himself between them and the hatchling. "I'm just a doctor," he said. "I saved a life." "That's why you must die," the killer replied. They fired. The hatchling screamed. A wave of energy exploded outward. The floor cracked. Walls bent. The killers were thrown back like toys. Their weapons melted in their hands. Elias was thrown against the wall. Pain flashed through his body. When he looked up, the hatchling stood between him and the attackers. Its injured wing glowed with ancient symbols. It was no longer just a child. It was a dragon. The killers panicked. "This wasn't in the briefing," one shouted. They tried to retreat. They did not get the chance. The hangar doors were torn open from the outside. Space itself seemed to burn. The Dragon Mother arrived. Her roar did not shake the station. It shook the galaxy. She did not attack blindly. She was precise. Every killer was burned. Every control node was destroyed. Every traitor who ordered the attack felt her wrath through broken fleets and screaming channels. She landed inside the hangar, massive and terrible. Then she looked at Elias. Slowly, carefully, she lowered her head. The galaxy's greatest predator bowed to a human doctor. Elias could not speak. The Dragon Mother touched her child gently, then turned her gaze back to the stars. Her message spread instantly across every channel, forced through every system. "The human is under my protection. Harm him, and I will come." Silence followed. Fleets stopped moving. Orders were canceled. Wars paused. The galaxy understood one thing clearly. This was no longer about relics. This was about respect. Elias looked at the hatchling, then at the Dragon Mother. His life would never be normal again. But for the first time, he was not afraid. When the galaxy was forced to kneel, the galaxy went silent. Not because of peace, because of fear. After the Dragon Mother's message spread, fleets stopped moving in mid-jump. Admirals froze in their command chairs. Politicians forgot how to speak. Dragons did not make threats. They made endings. Dr. Elias stood in the damaged hangar, surrounded by melted metal and burned marks on the floor. The Dragon Mother still stood there, massive wings folded, eyes burning like stars. She was not angry anymore. She was judging. The hatchling walked toward her, limping but proud. It touched her claw gently. A soft sound passed between them, older than words. Then the Dragon Mother looked back at Elias. For a long moment, she did nothing. Every camera in the galaxy watched. Finally, she spoke. Not with sound, but directly into the minds of every leader, every commander, every hidden council. This human showed mercy. Images filled their thoughts. The clinic, the bleeding child, the careful hands, the alert button never pressed. You answered mercy with murder. Fear crushed them. Some leaders fell to their knees without knowing why. The Dragon Mother turned her head toward deep space. Bring them, she commanded. From hidden jump points, ancient dragons appeared. Not dozens, thousands. They surrounded key worlds, war fleets, and secret bases. No fire yet, just presence. A warning. One by one, the names of those responsible appeared across galactic networks. Admirals, corporate rulers, shadow lords. Every traitor was exposed. The Dragon Mother spoke again. They will face judgment. Some begged. Some tried to run. None succeeded. The galaxy watched as dragon fire fell, controlled, exact, final. Not worlds burned. Only the guilty. Dr. Elias could barely breathe. This was too much power. Too much death. He stepped forward. Stop, he said. Everyone froze. The Dragon Mother turned slowly. No human had ever spoken that word to a dragon queen. Elias stood shaking, but his voice did not break. They try to kill me, he said. But if you destroy everything, you become what they believe you are. Silence. The dragons waited. The galaxy held its breath. Then, the impossible happened. The Dragon Mother lowered her head again. Not as mercy, as respect. You speak as kin, she said. The judgment ended. The remaining dragons withdrew. The message was clear. Power had limits, and that limit had a human face. Later, Elias sat quietly in the clinic, repairing a cracked console. The hatchling slept beside him, safe. The galaxy had changed. Dragons were no longer monsters. Humans were no longer weak. Kindness had reshaped fear. But Elias knew one truth. This was not the end. Legends do not end quietly. They wait. The legend humanity never planned to become. Years passed. The galaxy remembered that day as a turning point. Not a war, not a conquest, but a moment of choice. Dr. Elias did not become a ruler. He did not lead armies. He did not take the relics. He returned to what he was always meant to be, a doctor. His clinic moved from a forgotten outpost to a neutral station between worlds. Humans came, aliens came, even enemies came, and sometimes dragons came. The hatchling grew, not fast but strong. Its wing healed completely, not just bone and scale but something deeper. Trust, bond, memory. It never left Elias's side. The galaxy noticed small changes first. Dragon attacks stopped near human space. Trade routes once burned were left untouched. Lost ships were guided home instead of destroyed. When asked why, dragons gave one answer. One human chose mercy. Some governments tried to rewrite the story. They failed. Too many had seen it. Too many dragons remembered. A new law formed, not written by humans or dragons, but respected by both. Healers are sacred. No clinic was ever attacked again. No doctor was ever taken by force. Those who try vanished. Elias aged. His hands shook more often. His hair turned gray. But his eyes stayed the same, calm, steady kind. One night he sat alone in the clinic. The hatchling, now almost full-grown, lay beside him, breathing slow and deep. Stars passed outside the window. Elias smiled softly. I never wanted this, he said quietly. I just wanted to help. The dragon lifted its head and pressed its forehead gently against his. Somewhere far away, the Dragon Mother watched. She had outlived empires. She had ended wars. She had burned worlds. But this human frightened her the most, because he proved something dangerous. That power did not come from fire. That fear was not the strongest weapon. That kindness could change ancient laws. When Elias finally passed, the galaxy felt it. Not with explosions, with silence. Every dragon bowed its head. Every healer lit a light. Every world paused. A single message echoed across the stars, carried by dragon voices and human hands alike. Remember the human who healed, long after relics lost their shine, long after fleets turned to dust. The legend remained, not of a warrior, not of a king, but of a simple doctor who chose mercy.